So, this is my 1.5 journal entry inspired by Gautam Yegapan, aka Mr. G Man. I made one yesterday and it just didn't I don't know, my computer bugged out, so I was kind of bummed out, but I feel like that was a good practice in non attachment. But yeah, it was pretty annoying because I feel like I was pretty vulnerable about some good things, but it's not like I can't do that again. So, yeah, I guess in talking about this, the goal is to be completely authentic and, just real and upfront. And I guess I'm kind of thinking of this as a journal from my future self that I'll be able to see. So, completely raw. I look crusty as shit right now. But I don't think I'll have this blonde hair much longer. So, yep. Well, I just got out of therapy. It was a good session. I feel like I learned a lot about the importance of trauma in the body and the relationship between that and my social anxiety. I learned that because a lot of the traumatic events I experienced as a kid, for me, safety is in alignment with staying still and staying stagnant. And to me, when I was a kid, a lot of times movement, going forward involved being less safe. And so my body associates that with being unsafe. But it's strange because movement is also the only thing that allows me to feel free. I think, like, although I associate that when I'm actually moving is the only time which I feel good, because a lot of what makes me feel good is yoga or working out or Muay Thai or dancing. So it's a bit, I don't know, paradoxical in that sense. But yeah, I think therapy is dope. I think it's one of the better decisions you've made. I think that it's really opened your eyes to how much more work I have to do. And there is a lot of work that needs to be done. And sometimes it's a bit overwhelming, to be honest, to think about how much trauma there is for me to overcome and how long that's going to take to overcome all that, and if it's even possible. I feel like I want to be a person who isn't affected by the things they went through in their past, but therapy is just making me more and more aware of the effects that it does have on me on a day-to-day basis. And it's a lot, man. It's quite a lot. I don't think I ever really gave myself credit for how much I've been through, but it is a lot. I've been having some good habits lately that I've been keeping up with. Been waking up at 10, which is early for me. I usually wake up like 11:30. I'm waking up at 10, aiming for 9:30, and man, I've been feeling good just doing that. I think it's so important to just have a singular goal, or just a goal that you're just accomplishing and working towards that is meaningful to you and actually makes you feel good. If you're not, I just feel like life feels really empty. And this goal, I feel like, has to be something that's related to growth, that makes you genuinely feel like you're growing in an important way. Because I feel like I want to learn Spanish, and something I work towards sometimes, and it's like something I've been doing lately. And like, while learning Spanish is like meaningful to me, like it's really only meaningful when I'm like talking to people who speak Spanish and want to know that. And honestly, the only reason I really feel like I want to know Spanish is like ego reasons. Like, waking up early to me is actually like, I notice the effect in my day and how much better it is, and I just feel better when I do it. So I think that's actually the difference between something that's a meaningful goal versus a goal that's not. And something I talked about today in my therapy session is the importance of having goals that are aligned with you genuinely. So she brought some really good stuff to light, which was how when I was doing this in January, I think that my goal of not drinking, this referring to me not drinking, was really aligned with was really aligned with who I was. I was really doing it from like an empowered place. It was something about me becoming better. But if I did drink, like it wasn't like the end of the world. It was just something I was like really excited to do. Now me drinking, if I drink, the consequences are I'll hate myself. I will break up with my partner, and a lot of the things that are important to me I will essentially lose. I will prove to myself that I am just like my brother, my father, and yeah, I think that terrifies me, and I think it terrifies me to become someone who is really hurtful to the people that they love, and I don't want to be that, and I have been that, I think, in the past, and so I, there's a lot on the cost for drinking for me. But at the end of the day, it's like that's a really disempowered place to be making goals from. And so, of course, I'm not going to feel as good with this goal. It's like the cost is too high. It's like coming from a place of fear more than a place of like genuine, love and wanting to do this. And so I think an important thing for me is really realigning my goals from a place of like of goodness, man, from empowerment, not from like I'm not shit if I don't complete this goal, but from like examining the possibility of what could be if I do. And maybe I need to. It's hard because a lot of times like you can't. It's difficult to maintain a really lofty goal if the punishment isn't something that's commensurate with the effort that goal takes. But then it's like if the punishment is, and maybe that's not commensurate, to be honest. It feels like it is, but maybe it's not. But if the punishment isn't severe enough, it's like you'll just kind of slip back into that behavior. And so it's hard to kind of realign your goals from an empowering place. But yeah, it's also difficult to feel good if your goals are if you're constantly in fear that you're going to fail, and all that's keeping you from that goal is your aversion to failure rather than your connectedness to growth. I feel like that's pretty good. So yeah, I feel like I really have to realign some things, but I think, man, better habits. I just feel like you just better life, man. Like that's real. That's just fucking real. And like, I feel like as of late, I've been really just thinking about how much people let the dice of their life be rolled by the god of chance, including myself. Like I just let things succumb to chance. Like, oh, you're in say someone's at a job that they hate. Someone can just let the god of chance make something happen such that they no longer work there, and then they become happier, and they're like, oh, I'm not happy that I'm working this job. But like, that's not you choosing, because you also knew that like it didn't make you happy, and like you could have chose to no longer work there. And I feel like that's how so many people, including myself, live their lives. It's like I just let chance kind of dictate what does and doesn't happen. I don't actively think about what does and doesn't make me feel good, what does and doesn't make me happy, what does and doesn't make me feel more aligned, and curate my life around that. I just sort of let what's going to happen to me. I'm a passenger in my life. And I don't know if anyone can ever be a leader, successful, or create any type of meaningful change if they are always letting chance rule their life. And maybe you can get lucky, man, but it's also hard to ever really know that you did something when the only reasons why good things are happening are because of chance, and if bad things are happening are because of chance, because then it's hard for you to even take responsibility because you feel like you didn't do it. It's hard to ever grow from that place. And so a lot of times we live our lives and we believe that feeling good or feeling bad is just associated with something in our life, like a situation or environment, and we're not really able to change that. But I think we forget how powerful we are, and we really don't influence or use the influence of our will often enough, to be honest. Like, if you implement better habits in your life, like, you're not gonna fucking magically cure your shit, but like, even if it's just you feeling 10% happier, like, you have the, like, say your baseline for happiness is always just going to be here, your max for happiness is always going to be here, and other people are up here. At the end of the day, yeah, maybe you'll never surpass this, but it's like you should be doing everything you can to be here. And a lot of times I feel like we just stay here, we stay in this area, something good happens, no. But at the end of the day, I think having better habits brings you way closer to that threshold of what you can hit. And you choosing the things in your life really does give you a sense of empowerment. And I think we really are scared, and I'm really scared of how much freedom I have for my life going the way I'm going. It terrifies me sometimes to think about my life is really up to me. Like, everything that happens is just, every decision I make affects my life. And when I'm not making the best decisions, I think it's easier to find an excuse. But then I end up looking at my life and how I feel right now, and it's like, it's not good. I don't feel good on a day-to-day basis. Like, I think that's just so important, is just feeling good. And like, maybe, happiness isn't something that's always attainable, but at least feeling good about yourself and liking yourself, I think, is extremely important. And I don't really feel that way on a day-to-day basis. And so, yeah, I want to feel that way. And I think that I need to do more conscious activities every day and be more in tune with my body and how I feel to be able to do that. Yeah, man. So just having better habits, I think, is very, very important. I guess that's the topic of today's thing. I don't know what this will be about. I don't know how I'll focus on this, but I've been thinking a lot lately about sort of how much I have let other people's voices, well, that's people in my life, books, podcasts, friends, family, drowned out my own voice. And I've started to rely on their voices as a more important factor in decisions of my life than my own voice. I'm looking for external validation for an internal situation, external answers for an internal situation that only I can never really understand. That's because I don't want to take responsibility for my life. I don't trust myself as being good enough to make decisions. And I look at my life now, and I feel like I'm not good at solutions. I'm not good at fixing things. I feel like other people are better. And that's probably because those are people who don't look to other people to constantly solve the problems of their life. Maybe. But I think that solving the problems of my life and being able to have discernment is a skill that's built upon allowing yourself to fail and allowing yourself to succeed based off of the decisions that you make and your own decision. Of course, you can get advice, but at the end of the day, like, you shouldn't let other people's voice be the main thing. And it's like, I look at myself and I feel like I'm not original, and I feel like I don't have a lot of creativity, and I don't have a lot of things that make me me. I don't express a lot of the uniqueness that is me. I'm not even in touch with a lot of the uniqueness that's within me. And I think that's because at the end of the day, I'm just so busy trying to be everyone else, and that's ultimately to be liked. And so another big important thing, I think, is just to really get in tune with the voice in my own head, get in tune with what I want, what I genuinely want on a day-to-day basis, because I don't even fucking know half the time. Getting more in touch with myself, getting more conscious, just getting more present. Really, really getting more present. And yeah, that's something those are some things I think that are important to me. Setting better habits and listening to my own inner voice. So this, was started because, Gautam said it was one of the most important things he's done for himself, able to kind of look back at himself and his growth. And so hopefully this will be one habit that I keep maybe every Sunday and just sort of talk about whatever it is that I want to talk about in the moment. It's hard because it's like, I'll kind of just want to talk about things that like are relevant. It's hard to like, I guess, talk about like relevant for today because every day is just so different. It's like doing this every day seems like too much, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just have a check in over the week and talk about how that week has gone. So yeah, this week has been good because I think because of the better choices I've been making. Waking up at 10, going for a walk, reading, yoga, meditation, things that I know where really work for me, and thinking a little differently about my life, thinking about what is it that I want, and yeah, so that's that. And I guess maybe having a little bit more compassion for yourself, very important things. I hope this one doesn't get deleted after, but if it does, fuck it. I guess this is just my own little therapy session. So yeah.